Welcome to Dungeons and Pop.
Let's be Powered Rangers. Copyright infringement involved.
That we did do.
We need a better.
And then we jumped right into it and didn't even introduce ourselves.
Oops.
I'm Sid.
And I'm Eric.
And I am the DM, Sean. Possibly, if things get silly enough, probably Runkle Rackham to go with the NADPOD DM names. It's really freaky that I have people calling me Rack and Rackham all the time on Discord now. I'm so used to Toast and Sean.
I called you that until I learned your name.
Same.
Wait, which one? Toast or Rackham?
Rackham.
Toast? Oh, I called you Toast.
It was confusing.
A little bit.
Because I heard that and then I'm like, but I don't really know what to call him. I know this is like a character name, but that's all I know.
Right, so I think I remember we were back at the museum. We got to the Marcus came to the museum. War is loud. He don't notice it unless he got a pair of these. And he taps his dog-like ears. They always made that. Now it's the noise they always made when they moved. That doesn't make sense. They were Ballmeister. He's contained. He shouldn't be around. Ballmeister. They were his specialty. He's contained. He's contained here. Doesn't make sense.
Bryce, when you say contained here, you don't mean... And he motions for a small circle in front of him. Here.
No, not like here, but the spike at no dice.
Yeah.
He was one of the first pulled in. He should not be out unless he taught someone else how to bring them, but still, it is concerned.
Oh, that sounds like it's a child's story. His disembodied spirit tempting someone to follow in his footsteps. Oh God. I mean, as Marcus says it, he goes, "Oh God, that does sound like something that had happened, wouldn't it?"
Some of those corpulent folk, they've actually mentioned that. That's the big problem they have there. The dead don't like to stay dead.
Well, it's a good thing that they're over there and we're over here.
Death sounds boring.
It's definitely worth investigating. And then I think we're doing a small scene change because I want to get Thebesi in here. So,
right.
If you don't mind, Eric, I think that's a good spot.
No, that's fine.
To be fair, I think that'd take about as long as it would take Thebesi to be like, oh shit, I should go find that guy.
All right, so Thebesi, you're asking around to find the museum, right?
I don't think she knows that he works there. I think she goes back to the tavern to go find the person who had been talking to him, because that's her.
So talking to Haley?
Yes, because I feel like that would be the logical first place to look, would be, hey, you were talking to him. You must know where he works. I need you to tell me where he works.
Okay, all right.
So she heads back to the tavern and goes to find Haley.
All right. Haley's just cleaning some glasses.
She walks up to the counter and says, Where's the human you were speaking to earlier?
I think she kind of looks up and tilts her head. She actually looks at Thebesi and kind of tilts her head and goes, which human? Talk to a lot of humans.
The one you were telling of the sounds you've heard at night. Where is he?
Oh, Marcus? He's working over at the museum. There used to be you haven't been to the museum before?
I think with that, she looks at her, nods, and walks out. She doesn't answer the question. She's going to go find Marcus now at the museum. She got what she needed.
I think Ely watches this and just starts shaking her head like, wolf folk. They're all the same. Look, there's a reason why she gave Thebesi the look. She's a squirrel. Squirrels are naturally prey to wolves.
Which is fair and valid.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so Thebesi takes that information and she heads to the museum. However long it takes her to find that.
All right.
Although I feel like she's relatively familiar with the layout of the land, seeing as this is where she comes to pick up groceries and what have you.
Well, true, but she also mentioned it used to be a theater, and there are a lot of locations here that used to be theater. The evil army really needed to be entertained.
That's also fair. Evil has no bounds, and sometimes it gets bored.
I'm not even joking about that. There's at least 3 theaters in this whole city.
Wow.
Evil has no bounds and sometimes needs to be entertained.
The best I'm seeing is at least 2 of them are theaters that have half-timbered walls and were said to be built on the ground where a Sid Noble was betrayed and murdered.
Fun.
So a lot of backstabbing in the evil army, too.
No, really?
Cool, so Thebesi's just gonna start looking. She's gonna find that theater, though.
Okay, I would say roll a investigation check just so we can figure out how long it takes.
Okay, let me get her character sheet back. I just had to switch tab.
If you do really bad, you'll end up visiting one of the other theaters.
Damn it, what the hell? Was it a speed Drake? Quick Drake?
Hey! Okay, this is my dice for the game.
Pursuit Drake.
Pursuit, thank you.
It's on
21.
D&D Beyond.
Wow.
I rolled a 21.
Okay, you actually find it pretty well.
She's good at investigating.
And you run into an interesting thing as you reach this theater, as the ticket center is ran by it was a dwarf paladin who has a strange symbol on their chest plate. It is of a weird swirling. Would you say it's an eye, Sid? You know what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I wasn't sure if it was an eye or it was like a star or it was meant to be just a crystal. It was hard to tell, but it was really creepy.
Which one was this? Because we've talked about a lot of different things. We're in cahoots.
Well, he's a paladin of the undying sacrifice.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. No, I think it's an eye then.
And the funny thing about this dwarf that we've said you haven't seen with other dwarfs is it seems they have a cloth tied around their face.
Interesting.
It seems to be some kind of filter because they're breathing through it. And they seem to be eyeing the flowers across the street with an unnerving, suspicious look.
Okay. Is this the only way in? Like, is it blocking her path from entering?
I would say it is. All the other ones have gates.
Okay.
Like metal gates.
Bessie walks up and steps directly in its line of vision, kneeling down a little bit because she's very tall.
And I think he looks up to her and goes, "You here to buy a ticket?"
Yes. Why else would I be here?
1 gold.
That's expensive.
He holds out his hand.
That's an expensive ticket.
This is where I show that I'm not a typical DM. 10 silver is 1 gold, right? Or is it 100 silver?
I don't know. I've played different. I know there's like a legitimate conversion, but I've played before where it was just 100 into 100 into 100 to make conversion easier.
I think it's actually kind of like pennies, dimes, and then dollars. It's like 10 to 10 to 10, which means it's 10 copper is 1 silver, 10 silver is 1 gold. So that means 1 gold is 100 copper.
Okay, I would say it is...
I'd say 2 silver, honestly.
2 silver. Yeah, let's go with 2 silver. That sounds better.
Thebesi hands it over, eyes him for a moment, and asks, "Where can I find human Marcus?"
Oh, yeah, what is those? Beast folk. All the beast folk seem to want to find Marcus here.
Dwarf Ticketmaster, where can I find human Marcus?
1 second, and he puts the coins in the machine. He turns the crank, and a ticket pops out. He should be patrolling the inside. If you really want to shock him, give him a swat on the butt.
Why would I do that?
Seriously, why would she do that?
Well, you beast folk, you find a human and do your things, and
Oh dear God.
you'll surprise them.
I'm not here for that.
Marcus is being chased by the equivalent of furry's furry.
God have mercy.
Sounds like you're implying that Winari have something of the equivalent of heat.
We've already established Healy has a thing for Marcus, but she's married to her job. Just like how Aaron has multiple suitors.
So what we're establishing is that Marcus is a ladies' man?
Yes, but only for beast. Well, not necessarily a ladies' man, but...
Apparently, I'm attracted to beast folk ladies.
Or at least beast folk ladies are attracted to him because he's a gentleman.
Well, attracted is what I said, not attract. Beast ladies like Marcus. Marcus, however, doesn't know how to talk to females.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So with that, Thebesi shoots him a look and walks inside to find Marcus. Human Marcus.
Well, I would imagine it might take a while depending on where I'm at in the museum.
I would say he is a bit in. I think they're still by the putty thing. And I think the putties would be like, when they're there for like people they're further in the museum because That's not going to be the first thing that people are going to want is see a bunch of mudmen.
Yeah.
Valid?
They want to see the cool stuff.
That's fair.
I mean, they are just, you know.
Just like, when you walk into the Natural History Museum, the first thing you see is a giant skeleton of a T-Rex.
Yeah, gotta get that eye catch.
Yeah. So, Thebesi enters and she starts looking for Marcus. She grabs a map to appear mildly as if she's actually there to look at the exhibits. Is this place crowded at this time of day? I mean, I imagine that it's like sometime in the afternoon.
That's a good question. Is it like a weekday, weekend?
I'd say we're on the weekdays. There's people in it, but there's not as much. I think a lot of the draw comes in from the morning because people get in like first thing, they get out or in, they go to the museum and then they head out.
It's nearing the end of the field trip crowd.
Yeah, and there are a lot of weird people in the field trip crowd because I am gonna say at least one little kitty awakened slime just sloshing around. They are not discriminated at this place. I mean, come on. Their greatest heroes are gnolls.
Fair enough.
So you see, like, probably a little green boy running around, like, kind of sloshing around. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like watching a lava lamp. They're humanoid, and it's all together, but it's kind of like... And they are wearing a leather pantsuit.
It's a human-shaped gelatinous cube?
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love this. Thebesi carefully steps around the child and continues briskly walking through the museum.
You hear behind you.
I want to say she has a tail.
You
hear behind... What do you do?
The kid's following you.
She's continuing to walk. She's looking for human Marcus.
But does she look back?
No.
All right, so Marcus, you see that strange...
I thought you were going to say roll initiative.
No. I think Bryce kind of turns, noticing this strange wolf woman heading directly to you, eyes on you.
He hears the slurping.
And there's a little slime child just trying to grab at her tail, falling after her.
That's kind of adorable.
I'm gonna say, as you cite Marcus, you do see the person that Haley was talking to. He's decently fit. He's a little bit tanned. I mean, he honestly, there would have been no way for you to, look for him because he looks like...
He looks average?
Yeah, he looks like an average guy.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say he, instead of decently fit, decently attractive, and I'm like, okay, just put it out there.
No. I mean, I guess he looks decent for a human, but you're Wunari, so that doesn't mean anything. He's not certainly ugly, but he's not, Japanese Bishonen levels here.
Thebesi's attracted to a full coat of fur.
He's an everyman. Yeah, exactly. He's got a strong chin. He looks fit. His uniform seems a little tight on him, probably because they don't have the right size or it's shrunk in the wash. But he's slim, fit, 5'10", maybe a little higher in height than average. And he's wearing the security uniform for the thing, so probably black slacks, a white T-shirt, maybe a vest with a name tag and a patch of the museum on it, maybe a baseball cap.
You also see an elderly hipster gnoll standing next to him using an axe as a cane. I just realized he looks like a hipster. I mean, he has a goatee. He has the rimmed glasses. Well, I almost picture him like if you would take Egon and then... I mean, he looks like in the picture, but when I'm thinking with when I'm picturing the glasses, I almost picture like Egon from the Extreme Ghostbusters, but a gnoll form.
Perfect. So Thebesi looks between both of you and then...
I love it.
Looks at Marcus and speaks as she's still approaching. Human Marcus, you must come with me.
Excuse you, ma'am?
Human Marcus, you must come with me.
Gonna need a little more information on that, ma'am. I have no idea who you are, and...
I am the Ascending Clan leader, Thebesi Petra. Human Marcus, you must come with me.
You're coming up... Okay? Question mark?
Bryce looks between them and goes, Marcus...
Don't.
Look, when a royal woman comes to you and asks you to come with them, that is a royal decree. That's all I'm saying.
I will make you a space rug.
We don't have time for this. We must go to the well, human Marcus.
I'm just a museum security guard. You want the town guard.
You volunteered to look into the noises of the night. Come with me if you want to find out what's causing them. Now.
I think Bryce's expression, he like kind of stands up a little bit and goes, "Why do you think it has something to do with the well?"
Because I heard them there. Come with me, human Marcus.
Show me. And as soon as she says that, his face turns, stone solid, and he nods, he says, "Show me," and he starts walking towards her.
She turns around and starts walking back towards the entrance of the museum. Be careful to step around the child.
I'm going to say, you guys have gone completely off the rails. This is going to be fun.
Great.
Oh, good.
And then the child is like, ah. The child's like, ah, hurry.
Is the child still trying to follow her?
I think it actually is.
She picks the child up, walks back to the other man, and places the child in his hands.
The child hugs you, and he's very adorable. It's a big old, yeah, actually, it's like,
Fluffy!
Kitty!
No, yeah, literally what he said. He literally does say, kitty!
Yeah. Marcus shouts back, "Puppy!" correcting the kid.
I just love how Thebesi has not asked the dwarf's name, so he's still gone nameless.
He is Ticketmaster Dwarf.
He has a name. I actually have a name. Marcus would know the name.
Marcus would.
It is Danarv. Or Danar.
Danarv. Is that one word or two? Like a first name and a last name?
One word. It's Dainarv. I may be pronouncing it wrong.
Danarv.
So Danarv takes the child and looks confused.
Okay. No, I think she said handing it to Bryce.
Yeah, she handed the child to Bryce.
Oh, okay. Bryce, and he's like, puppy!
Marcus is barely restraining his laughter.
And Bryce is confused, and he's like, oh, alright, I'll take care of the child, but I don't think you're gonna find what you think in the well.
We'll see about that.
I'm hoping to find nothing.
She turns to continue walking towards the exit, expecting Marcus to follow. How tall is Marcus?
Marcus is
how
5'10".
Yeah, cool. So she's like a whole foot and a half. She's like a whole foot taller. She's a very tall.
Yeah. But no, when he kept walking, when she stopped to take the kid back to Bryce, he's probably already at the entrance telling...
I imagine they hadn't, walked too far before she did that. Yeah, well...
Yeah, I know, but he didn't stop is what I'm saying.
She catches up and starts walking towards the well then, when they exit. She's walking purposefully.
Alright.
Also, I imagine she might look a little bit terrifying to other people, because she's definitely got her sword with her. She has a longsword and a great axe. Those were the weapons she was given, and a trident.
Yeah, that's another thing. We got, medieval style weapons from making our characters, but I guess that's part of what makes the Retroverse what it is. Even though it feels like it's kind of modern but retro, it's got that D&D feel where carrying a weapon isn't
gonna get her arrested.
Out of the ordinary.
Where her carrying a great axe and a trident is not gonna get her arrested.
Yeah, I would say that. Oh, roll me some perception checks, guys. There's at least 2 characters I want to throw out there now that you guys are knowing each other.
20, non-natural.
Okay.
I failed my dice setup.
Hang on. Perception. 4.
Oh.
Okay, Thebesi.
Yeah, it's one of those days.
Thebesi, you notice...
Thebesi. T-H-E.
Thebesi. Yeah.
You notice a large, fat Meowser working on a junk motorcycle with a skinny kobold with a skull cap, and strangely enough...
Hold on. A fat guy...
Yes.
And a skinny guy in a skull cap.
Working on a junk motorcycle, and it's a fat cat man.
God damn it.
Not just a fat man, a fat cat man.
Still, I know where this is going.
Is there anything about them that would stop Thebesi from her continued pursuit towards the well on her investigation?
Especially since apparently Marcus didn't notice them and just kept walking.
You would notice that the fat cat man does a wolf call in your direction as you pass, or is horribly trying to do some kind of wolf call, a literal wolf call, but he's a cat man, so it doesn't sound right at all.
I want you to try and make that sound, please.
That is hilarious. I love it.
That is painful to listen to. It's fantastic. It's beautiful.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's horrible. I love it.
Trying to think of what the equivalent of telling someone to with the
Telling somebody off?
telling someone to F off. Like, I'm trying to think of what the equivalent of that would be for a Wanari. Like, for her. Because she holds herself with a lot of pride.
Well, they're wolf people, so I would... Yeah. Well, they are wolf people, so I would say something along those lines, maybe?
She, without stopping, turns in his direction and, bares her teeth at him.
Okay, I gotta roll to see. I gotta roll his insight.
Ooh, that's good, that's good.
He's a commoner, so he has no insight. Oh, guys, their insight, they rolled a 2. He bears his teeth back and kind of like, there's like a
Finger guns. He finger guns.
finger guns.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. He thinks she's grinning.
I'm gonna roll an intimidation.
Honestly, I think since he got such a low score, I don't think
Oh, because she's gonna growl at him.
your intimidation's gonna work.
And that's a,
Okay.
17?
Okay, now I gotta roll an insight to see if
Oh, Jesus.
How stupid this cat is.
guys, it's a natural 20.
How he takes the growl, because he... Oh, God, here it goes. Yeah.
His ears quickly bow down, he kind of stumbles back.
At that, does he even realize that she's royalty and that he, like, totally tried to hit on
Thank God.
as essentially clan royalty, though?
Probably not, no. I mean, does she wear anything that announces her as such?
So,
And better question, would he recognize such iconography?
that's true. Because
I think he did it because he recognized
that she's not having it.
no, that she's royalty.
Because I feel like with the clans living right outside of town, the people would, for the most part, be able to recognize the wear of different clans, but also in drawing in stuff from lasers and liches, like the Wanari do, if I'm remembering correctly, and I'm gonna do a quick check really quick. I want to say that they paint their fur different colors and patterns, and I'll double check and correct myself if I'm wrong in a bit, but I want to say that that's the case. And so I feel like there would be a designated, like, painted pattern to mark the rising alpha of the clan.
Well, here's the thing. Leon Shinari is just that kind of person. He is hitting on. I would say the reason why he did the original hitting on was because it was royalty. It was him attempting a Bauer.
Trying to get some alpha.
Yeah, that was him trying to pull a Bauer move outside of his wingspan, and he is thoroughly mistaken. So yeah, he stumbles back. His compatriot just starts to laugh, and then he swats him with his tail. We're also got to do the roll for the hit. Commoner AC is 10, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes, because they're
okay. That hit.
So he's trying to fight her. Is that what you said is happening?
No, what happened was his compatriot, the kobold, started to laugh.
Oh.
And he hit the kobold.
Oh, okay.
Because he's a Meowser. Do they have an attack? Oh, I guess maybe they don't have an attack. Oh, I was thinking the Pharaoh, that's why. Okay, so then it's just he does 1 HP on his compatriot because they don't have I thought they had a natural attack, but it's actually the Pharaohs. They actually can hit people with their tails for a decent amount of damage. Squirrel power.
Squirrel power. # squirrel power.
Yeah, because they have smashing tail, so they do 1d4 plus their strength modifier.
So, yeah. So what I was thinking of was that they had different colored fur, but I do kind of like the idea of them dyeing their fur for their like respective clans and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, okay, so you guys are continuing to the well, right?
Yes.
You know, it would be great if I unmuted myself after blowing my nose.
Did you mean to say something that we obviously missed?
Yeah, I was going to say it makes sense that they dye their fur in different patterns, even if the different clans have different colors. And I think, like D&D, lasers and liches is all, here's our ideas, kind of make them your own too. I could be wrong about that, and I don't want to be insulting to the lasers and liches.
Right.
They're cool. They know about this. I've been telling them so much stuff about my plans.
Yeah, but I do like the idea of her being the rising clan leader, the alpha, having a specific dyed pattern to kind of designate that, as like some tribes would have like a headdress or something. This is a little more subtle and more fit to she's still able to fight and doesn't have this like crown or headdress or something. It seems a little less dainty.
It kind of reminds me of like the woad, the blue face paint of the kilt.
Yeah.
Is what was my thought, and I really like that idea.
That worked.
Yeah. So, headed to that well. Unless Marcus catches on to her growling at the cat across the street.
He might actually stop, pause, and look back at the growling, see what's going on, and go, oh, and then continue on to the well. Because I have a feeling he knows these two quote-unquote troublemakers and pays them about as much mind as they deserve.
He does. He has had history of them.
Yeah, so...
I also do... I love that cat versus dog animosity there.
Yes, that was also very hilarious.
In fact, I would say Marcus had to pull the large one out of the vents the one time they tried to break into the museum and didn't even get out. Yet they only got like within the wall and then they were stuck.
Rip them.
Meh.
So, like, what time is it? Are there people still around that...
I would say we're at late afternoon.
Okay.
No, I agree. Late afternoon works because, lunch and then your time to investigate would probably be a couple of hours. Time to go back to the inn, then to the museum, and us getting to the well again. I want to say maybe 3:30 after everything's done with.
All right, then.
Awesome.
Okay, so are you going to try to listen on the well again?
Yes.
Yeah. Once they get to the well, it's like, okay, show me.
And she leads him right up to the well and falls silent. I think she's actually been silent this whole time, unless he's tried to speak to her.
He was intent on getting to the well. Once he found out why you were trying to get him to the well, he got really just, you thought he was being...
Once he got her to say something other than human Marcus, come with me now.
Yeah, you could tell he was being polite because that was his job. But once you said that, it kind of drained away. Honestly, you saw some kind of warrior underneath.
Yeah, so they're at the well now, and she leads him up to it and stands there silently listening.
All right, roll me some perception checks. The alternate title for this episode is God damn, that's a lot of perception checks.
All the perception.
No kidding.
Oh, crap.
Okay, come on.
That's a nat 1, my friends.
17.
Okay, I would say that Thebesi, you hear nothing, and then you realize that when the child hugged you, some of the glop got in your ears. And you just barely heard, and then you think about it, you just barely heard the wolf call of the cat man.
Yeah, so she starts trying to wipe it away from your ears.
Marcus, you hear something moving inside the well, but it's distant.
Okay. He's gonna lean forward a little bit and kind of strain to hear better.
I would say it sounds...
You've fallen.
Actually, dexterity check.
I was joking, I'm so sorry.
God damn it.
Can Thebesi grab him, like, hold on to his cloak? Or, like, his shirt or something?
Another dexterity check. Acrobatics.
You said acrobatics?
For one, for Marcus. Athletics for Thebesi.
That's 18 for acrobatics.
14?
You almost slip, but you catch yourself. And then you feel Thebesi grab you and pull you back. I almost picture like you literally just pick him up and then set him away from the well.
With one hand, one paw.
I will say around the well with the wall around the well, because that's part of the reason why I figured you had to do the dexterity check, because you had to partially climb up to get on it to hear better. I will say there's enough give that if either of you have any rope, you could probably make a rope and climb down if you want to investigate further.
I have 50 feet of rope. I have an adventurer's pack.
I too have I have an explorer's pack, actually.
I think I took adventurer's pack because it was listed on the thing and I could just click the check mark and I didn't have to look to see what was in an explorer's pack. So that was my laziness winning out.
No, I was saying you could easily tie a rope.
Yeah. You said there was a rope there anyway?
Basically, there's enough like spaces in the fence where you could tie around a rope to make an easy rope down.
Oh, okay. Well, I do have an explorer's pack, and if I'm not mistaken, that has rope too, so...
I'm not sure what the difference between an adventurer's pack and an explorer's pack actually is, which is weird.
Well, I'm looking. Expertise, extended spell, extra attack, expert divination, expertise, exploration. That's 8.
So the Explorers Pack has a bedroll, a backpack, obviously a backpack, a mess kit. So I think that's like 10 or I'm not sure what that is because it also has 10 rations listed. A tinder. Okay.
A mess kit is like a camp. Well, you're in the military. You know what a mess kit is.
To me, that sounds more like an MRE, but that's listed as rations because we have the mess hall.
No, yeah. No, the mess kit is the the stuff that, fits
Oh, okay.
together. It's your fork, your knife, your plate, your stuff to cook with.
Yeah, see, my mind was
I always imagined that as like those camping kits where like everything just kind of folds together into one compact thing.
See, when I see the 10 days rations, my mind immediately pictures something like 10 packs of MRE. But the MRE.
Yeah, actually, that's what I imagined too.
Yeah, but the MRE includes a fork and the little packets that the food comes in is purposed as a bowl. Like, we don't actually have like a plate that we dump it onto. Yeah.
No. This is more like, we'll say, camping rations.
Yeah.
The bags of food. And then the mess kit, your mess kit is what you use to eat.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. A water skin and then 50 feet of rope. So, what's the difference then? Because the Adventurers... okay, the Adventurers Pack has a healer's kit.
Yeah.
A backpack healer's kit, mess kit, tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, 50 hemp rope, and a water skin. So I don't have a bedroll, but, like, I think Thebesi's fine with that.
Yeah, so...
I have rope, too.
Since I have the explorer's kit, I have access to the rope, so let's do that.
The only difference is the bedroll versus healer's kit.
Yay!
Which, yeah.
No big deal.
So yeah, we have rope. We have 100 feet of rope between us.
Okay.
Yeah, how deep is this?
How much rope do we need is the question.
Can Thebesi drop a rock and count how many seconds it takes it to fall?
Yeah.
She does that. She picks up a rock and just kind of drops it over the edge and starts counting. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. How deep is this tunnel? 10,000, 11,000, 12,000. Shit! 13,000, 14,000, 15,000.
I'm going to say it's 50 feet deep.
Okay, I want you to know as she's counting, she's looking at him and she's like, how deep is this tunnel? And continues counting.
Yeah, he's wondering the same thing.
What would be... Well, I'm not sure. How would be deep enough that you could get to the bottom and there could be a cave system under the city without, like, buildings collapsing? That's the part I'm not sure.
Oh, well, I mean, it could be that they have to walk down a tunnel, too. You could say it's 50 feet deep, and then they have to walk down a tunnel that's, like, continuing to go deeper. So, I mean, it depends. Are you wanting them to drop down this rope, land on the ground, and be like, holy crap, there's an entire cavern, how is the city not collapsed? Or are they going to enter a tunnel and have to walk? Do I have dark vision?
Well, actually, let me check something quickly.
I'm not sure.
Are you Googling it?
He does. Yeah, I am. How deep does surface need to be for a city not to collapse into a cavern?
It should get a very specific...
That is a very specific...
I don't.
Google. That's going to be interesting to... I find if you're too specific, you don't get an answer, which is weird.
Oh, I get some answers.
I don't have dark vision.
I get a couple answers. Wait, no, that's not right. All right, let's see. Well, it can't be that deep because a sewer... How deep is a sewer?
Well, how thick of a concrete foundation does this town have? Do they have a concrete foundation? Because sewers are built out of stone and concrete to fortify them and keep the city from collapsing into them. So, and there's probably, when they lay down massive skyscrapers, metal work too to keep them from collapsing. Because, like, subways don't go that deep either, but they're also not extremely cavernous. And they're built out of concrete.
I'm gonna say it's 30 feet deep. It's not like a giant cavern. It's more like
But there's also magic, so I mean, they could have totally got, when they realized that was there, had a wizard like fortify it with spells to keep the town from collapsing into it. So like, we have magic.
Actually, spoil. Well, actually, you know what? You're right. You're right there. It would actually make sense.
Like if wizards and sorcerers are a common thing in this town, in this world, it can totally just have it can totally, if like someone starts adding like, well, actually it needs to be this steep to not collapse.
Well, it's actually just a series of caves. It's not quite a cavern, I would say. But yeah, I would say 30 feet deep, because that's how deep a sewer line needs to be installed up to.
All right. So we tie off the rope. I'd say we make sure it's doubly secure. Like I think Marcus would make sure he finds like two really stout pieces of fence and ties the rope kind of in between the two so it shares the load.
And Thebesi double checks his knot work.
It's excellent knot work.
Is it though? Thebesi makes sure that it's excellent work and it's not gonna drop her.
Teammates, you're already teammates. Okay, and I will say, because you guys are doing that, I'm gonna give you. It's gonna be a deception. It's gonna not. Why did I say deception? A dex.
We're gonna make a deception check to make sure that the knot's tied right.
No, it's a dexterity check to go down, but I will give you advantage because you guys made sure those knots were tied very tightly.
I'm good at dexterity. Is it dex?
Okie dokie. Me too. Okay, so that's 16 plus 5, so that's 21.
21. I rolled a 21 too.
But since it has with advantage, that's 17 plus 5, so that's 22.
Yeah, I got a 21 total.
So we repel down them like friggin' special forces.
Yeah, we look like hot shit sliding down that rope, like fast roping down.
I mean,
there are children watching you guys amazed that you're going into the well.
You know, we got it around our back, around our leg, and we're just like, zip lining down like nothing.
And amazed at our repelling work.
Aaron just kind of drops. He comes back up, peeks up over the edge of the well, goes, shh, and drops back down.
Thebesi looks at the children, nods once, and then disappears down into the well.
Intimidation?
All right, you guys are going into the well. We're gonna go to the well.
We're going to the well, and Sean's skipping past 8 pages of notes.
I don't actually have notes for this, but I'm just looking over what I need to know for this particular encounter. Because it's going to be interesting. It's not what you guys think.
Probably. I mean, he already said we were off the rails.
We're level 1, we're all going to die.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that I'm not going to spoil it. Let's just say, okay, so you guys go down in the well. And you arrive at a...
We're in the well.
And as we get to the well, Mark goes, shit, right. I can't see in the dark.
Thebesi lights a torch.
He just kind of, quote unquote, nods, tips his hat to her. Kind of gives her a little, 2-finger salute.
All right, you guys find yourself in a smaller room. It means a decent sized room. In fact, I would say it almost looks like a naturally formed sewer. Like it's not actually built, but you actually get the impression there. It looks like there's actually a series of tunnels heading in 3 directions.
Interesting.
Thebesi's gonna walk up to each tunnel and listen for the sound.
Mm-hmm. The smart thing to do.
You notice it. It seems like the sound is echoing from through all of the tunnels, but I would say the one heading directly towards the museum. Well, actually, no. There's 2. There's one. Actually, one of the tunnels is actually heading towards that strange tower you noticed that had the similar. I mentioned it had a similar look. and then one's heading towards the museum, and the other one seems to be heading in a direction you don't recognize.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You definitely hear the sound of bones moving.
Do we hear anything from any of those?
From all of them, like I said, the one that the most of the sounds seem to be coming from.
From which one, or from all of them?
The loudest is from the heading towards the museum. The one towards the tower is slightly less loud, but there's definitely sound, and you get the impression that the third tunnel, there's not really. It's just echoing from you kind of get the impression from how it is. You think it might be just echoing through another tunnel from one of the other two tunnels.
So Thebesi turns to Marcus, and she says, "We should head this way," and motions towards the tunnel leading towards the museum where you said most of the sound was coming from, and she starts walking.
Agreed. And he joins her.
Okay.
I am going to say Marcus is going to roll a stealth because it's going to be bad enough, he knows. He's not going to want to make a lot of noise.
I'll roll for stealth too.
That would be...
That's a 7. Clank, 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 clank.
I rolled 12.
All right.
What are you wearing?
It's the sound of her great axe, longsword, and trident. She also actually has a shield.
Ah, that's fair. I'm gonna say, oh, fun. Considering that I was given a halberd and a longsword, I want to say that the halberd is his henshin weapon, so he doesn't have that yet.
Oh, the trident.
But he does have the longsword on him.
Oh, that's right. The trident's her henshin weapon, so she has a longsword and a great axe, though.
And what were the stealth rolls again?
A 7.
And a 12.
So, clank, 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 clank. Pause, glance behind shoulder, continue walking. Clank, 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 clank. Kicks a rock down the tunnel on accident.
Okay, so let me figure out which of these rolls go to which one of these things. I need to figure out if...
I love my variety in passing and failing rolls.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Polarizing would be another word for it.
That reminds me, I actually have to find the shiny table now.
You have to what now?
He needs to find the table.
Oh, the shiny table. Oh no.
We're gonna die. I have 9 hit points.
We are...
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Ooh, those are nice. We're first level adventurers. It's not you. We know better.
Well, I mean, actually, my saving... Oh, no. Because I don't have my armor, so my AC is...
Look, I'm just saying, you guys are assuming the worst, and I love it.
It's just that all of these dice go back to my high school role-playing days, and I never really rolled well with them, so since I'm being more active in rolling now, that I have, Sean and the group here, I'm really wanting some new dice to kind of have a fresh start,
So...
Oh, that'll be nice. That'll be interesting. This is going to be interesting.
That, and you can never have too many dice anyway.
No, it's going to be interesting in that.
Yeah, we're dead. Yeah, the DM says, oh, this will be interesting. My god, I think I do.
Alright, so let me make sure that they can be this kind first. But I'm going to say there's less. There is still bones. You still sound the bones and stuff moving, but it is noticeably decreased.
Okay, that just tells me that they stopped moving.
Well, yeah, some of them have stopped moving, but some of them seem not to have stopped moving, is what I'm trying to say. And then...
So Thebesi, is there anything they can see down the tunnel?
Actually, on that, roll me a perception check.
Another perception check. That's title of the episode. And another perception check.
Come on. Ooh, 15.
20. Non-nat.
Nice. Still nice.
As you walk down the tunnel, you hear something move behind you, away from the wall.
It's the little slime boy.
The boy followed them. Thebesi stops and turns around. And
Marcus also stops and turns around slowly, going, "We're going to die." Yeah.
Shush, human Marcus. And she draws her longsword, holding it in one hand and the torch in the other.
You see a pair of
He draws
skeletons
his longsword as well,
move
holding it
away
in two
from the
hands.
wall, but
She can't drop them.
these aren't your average skeletons because they are covered in, there's portions of them covered in mechanical bits.
Ah, good times.
Oh no.
They both draw their weapon. Marcus, roll me a history check.
Alrighty. Which, come to find out, I actually am proficient in.
Good.
That's a 15, so that's a 17. Wait, no, I'm sorry, that's a +2 and +2 for proficiency, so that's +4. 19.
Ooh, nice.
You recognize these weapons, and as you look at these skeletons, you realize they're humanoid, but they are not human. The machinery on them are tattered red. They are blue and green.
Okay. What are their weapons?
And the weapons are a hand axe and a warhammer. And these are henshin weapons.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Does Marcus say that, or are you saying that? Ah.
He says that.
What is it, human Marcus?
He says, "Oh no. Those are henshin. Those are fallen heroes."
The one with the hand axe seems to tilt its head as it hears Marcus speak. And you hear in the oldest sounding null voice, "Marcus, my boy, is that you?"
Human Marcus, why does it know your name?
Which one says that?
The one with the hammer.
Those are Gnome Rangers.